Hi everybody, I'm Zach and I like movies, and I'm back again with a new entry in the Letterboxd Criterion Challenge for 2024. Tonight's prompt was number 39, which was to watch a movie of the history genre. And of my options, I chose 2013's The Grandmaster from director Wong Kar-Wai, an icon of world cinema for his expressive, atmospheric, and gorgeous and emotionally rich films. Chungking Express, In the Mood for Love, Fallen Angels, and he hasn't really done a whole lot of directing features as of late, kind of doing more for like Chinese TV. And with the Grandmaster here being one of his more recent directorial efforts, at least as far as the movies go. Oh, and this is a historical biopic about Ip Man, who was a grandmaster in the Wing Chun style of Kung Fu, who is most famous for being the man who taught Bruce Lee, which kind of speaks for itself, as well as being played by Donnie Yen in the Ip Man series. Though some historical liberties may apply to that series. I can't say for sure if the actual Ip Man got in a fist fight with Mike Tyson or not, but I don't know. I'm not exactly a story major either. And what's special about this one is that the Grandmaster Ip Man is played by the film Grandmaster of acting, Tony Leung, who is he has a hard time being a bad actor and an even harder time looking bad. This is, man, if you only know Tony Leung from Shang-Chi, you are seriously missing out. This man has been a legend in Asian cinema for like 40 years. His career is wonderful. His screen presence is always welcome, and he is such an amazing ability to tell rich stories with just a look in his eyes. He's amazing in everything. But the plot of this movie generally follows the life story of Ip Man in its most essential moments. Though it being a Wong Kar-Wai movie, plot was never really like a heavy focus. He's always been more a concern. He typically like builds a story through like conceptualizing a character first, and then just kind of like finding a story through those characters. But this one seemed, but like to hear that he was like doing historical biopic, was very interesting, and he still maintained that sort of like typical like Wong Kar-Wai familiar lyricalness. There's plenty of moments that definitely do feel like in his wheelhouse with how there's like feelings of like longing-ness and just the sheer beauty of the movie. This is a real gorgeous picture. But with Ip Man here, it's interesting because it's mostly set up in sort of two eras of his life. One where he was like he's already a grandmaster. There's not much like there's only like so much personal history before we like catch up to him being played by Tony, and he meets with these other grandmasters of martial arts in a brothel regularly, and there a master from northern China named Gong Yushun, he declares his retirement and names the successor, Ma Sen, and there's a lot of the fight, and he does share fights even in this brothel where the way that this film like not only showcases the fighting styles, but it also like showcases the philosophies of the styles of Kung Fu, and there's a great sensuality to the detail of the body's movements. There's when the ways that feet sweep across the floor, and arms flexing into the stances, range splashing with a kick and off the clothes in these like really gorgeous hyper slow motion close-ups, or like in step print mode, in like when the Wong Kar-Wai signature step printing, style, where like the body will like absorb and like dispel a blow, and these wonderful like the wonderful quiet sensations of like an impending combat where like two opponents will just like stare each other down before the bodies just explode in movement, and and more and of these masters is actually not just Gan Yushan, who also sort of discuss and like eventually select Ip Man as a representative of the South. One of these grandmasters sorts is Gan Yushan's daughter, Gan Er, and she is played by Ziyi, or Zhang Ziyi. I apologize if I butcher any names, any pronunciations, but Zhang Ziyi is another icon of Chinese cinema who you might know her best as Zhen Yu in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She was the one who fought Michelle Yeoh with the Green Destiny sword. And man, she's had a fantastic career, especially in like a lot of these like very, very big, very famous wushu movies, like Hero with Jet Li or House of Flying Daggers. And man, she is like so nothing short of incredible here. She's beautiful, she's sympathetic, and at times even commanding. And she sort of, and it feels like she's sort of like trying to channel Tony Leung's performance in the way that she's like communicating a lot with her stillness and her eyes. And man, she kicks plenty of ass too. She's definitely no slouch when it comes to her martial arts. And to his credit, neither is Tony Leung. Like, he's definitely not like proficient in martial arts, at least compared to someone like Donnie Yen. I mean, this Ip Man is not doing any of that speed bag punching that Donnie Yen does. But to his credit, for a guy who like didn't really have much experience with kung fu, having to pick up Wing Chun when he was 47, that's not easy. That alone is worth praise. And he definitely like really showed his stuff. He worked his ass off a lot. He even broke his arm during production twice. And this production actually like lasted a good like 3 years, which like, considering the way that Wong Kar-Wai generally shoots films, whether it's like more limited casting, but like shooting extensive amounts of takes, or just like sort of finding the movie in the edit, like it kind of did here with like how, but like what's so impressive, like it's like the sheer scale of it. This has kind of like the splendor of like a martial arts epic, but also like also evoking like historical dramas. And man, the production value and the cinematography, it's like I said before, this is a beautiful movie. And wow, and like and again, also the fight choreography is second to none, because this was choreographed by one of the gods, maybe the greatest fight choreographer of all time, arguably, Yeun, who is he did the Matrixes, he did the Kill Bills, he did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like, look him up. Like it's Yeun. He's definitely like one of the greatest to have ever done it. And each of these fights, like I said, they have a lot of like sensuality, and they feel there's a little bit of like dramatic, they boosting up some of the physicality for like dramatic effect, but there is a lot of appreciation to the precision of the martial art, which is what the initial sort of exhibition fight between Ip Man and Gan Er is about. They have and their fight, it's not just a showcase of their skill, but also their fight has this very dance-like intimacy to it. There's a real breathlessness, the way they move and the way they sort of like counter and they sort of like engage and counter-engage each other, and like how they like sort of very effortlessly bounce off of like the furniture and the railings, the stairs, and just like it feels like a step up. It's not like quite wushu the way they just like where they just like just glide effortlessly. But it is feel like a step up from like hard physical gravity. This is the physical. These are masters of their physical body in complete control. And there's the breathlessness of their fight is so beautiful, especially with like where the romantic undertones become very apparent. They spin in the air and their faces glide past each other. Their lips almost touch, and they come out of it having a very shared mutual appreciation for each other's skills and clearly an unspoken attraction to each other. They soon like start they start trading off these letters and in these very, very intimate moments where it feels very evocative of In the Mood for Love. If you remember, if you've ever seen that, and you really should, that's arguably Wong Kar-Wai's magnum opus. Although I'm lean more to Chungking Express, nevertheless. But then the second half of the story comes from the personal devastation, which out of the political devastation of China being thrown into the Second Sino-Japanese War with Japan, where I would say that one of the flaws of at least the version I saw, there's only so much, there's only kind of a general idea of like what the Sino-Japanese War was about, and only, but it was more focused on like how the war affected the characters. Ip Man, his family falls into poverty, and he loses two of his daughters to starvation, and Gone Air had her school just stolen from her and her family, and her father's successor Masan, he defected to colluding with the Japanese, and this part of the story really becomes about the weight of legacy and the choice to carry on that legacy. That really comes to the forefront, where Ip Man, in sort of this like sort of his exile, he moves to from the effects of the war and the burden put on upon his family, he moves to Hong Kong to start a martial arts school, and teaching his Wing Chun style of martial arts, which in his time was very elitist and really only reserved for those of the upper class. And he even eventually meets back up with Gone Air, not only to convince him of a rematch, because he also wants to see her, see if he can best her, but he also wants her to pass on her family secrets of, and I hope I'm not butchering this name, Bagwajan. That's her family style of kung fu. That's a bit of if I'm aware, that is a very famous form of kung fu that in a more pop culture sense wound up being a very inspirational was like a key basis for the airbending style of martial art in Avatar: The Last Airbender. However, Gone Air has steadfastly refused to pass on her family secrets. She even swore to the Buddha to sacrifice all of her life, devote her entire life to a pursuit of vengeance. And this pursuit culminates in an absolutely amazing fight against Mazan in a train station. This sequence, if you see this movie for any reason, it should be to see this fight. This is a symphony. This is sort of like everything that cinema is made for. The lush beauty of the imagery, the rhythm of the cuts, the composition of the shots themselves, the sound, everything just sort of coming together to make what I can only describe as art. This is one of the most beautiful fights I have ever seen in my life, and I'm really surprised nobody really seems to talk about it as much. And because like the choreography is really like something out of the Matrix, and yet visually with like the beautiful like green, the like low the like low the like murky yellows and the dim greens of the like backgrounds, and the snow and the smoke coming out of the steam out of the steam train. It's evoking like classical historical epic like Dr. Zhivago. You know, it's something. It really takes my breath away just thinking about it. Just wow. But now, as much as I can and will give praise to this movie, I wouldn't call it one of Wong Kar-Wai's best. I didn't. I found it a little emotionally lacking, more in the like second half, especially when like Ip Man kind of takes the back seat in terms of like his story, and I think, and on the one hand, that's less of a knock against the movie and more of like a testament to the quality of Wong Kar-Wai's work, but I think it might mostly have to do with the version I saw. Now, there are three versions of the Grandmaster that exist. There is the Chinese cut, which ran for about 2 hours and 10 minutes. There was a second cut that was, it seems to be specifically made for its premiere at the 2013 Berlin Film Festival, which ran for 2 hours and 3 minutes. And a third cut that was made in collaboration with the Weinstein Company that was for American release, which was cut down to 108 minutes. And if you seek this movie out, be it on streaming or probably most Blu-rays from what I've been able to find, you're most likely going to get that US cut. And Wang has at least said that the choices that he made for the editing of the American cut, it had more to do with like cultural and historical background. You know, the Grandmaster has unlike his other movies, the Grandmaster has a specificity in the place and the time that non-Chinese viewers probably would need. Probably need a little bit more information. You know, there's like some info dump cards that pop up now and then to like kind of give like some context, but only so much. And personally, I never really felt like there was like a whole lot missing, at least in terms of like, also sometimes this feels like kind of a give and take, where emotionally speaking, in terms of like Ip Man's story and what this story means and what it eventually grew into, I never felt like I was like I felt like I was lost or like devoid of anything, but at the same time, it did feel like pieces were not there that originally were. Like, for example, there's a character known only as Razor, who's like he's a fighter that kind of challenges Ip Man to a duel, and he's sort of like he kind of gets hyped up like he's a heavy in an action movie where like he's like a former assassin. He specializes in like using a straight razor, but his scene with Ip Man is like so brief, you might almost miss it if you're just sort of lost in like the like beauty of it. And it's odd, and like it's not like something like that is new for a Wong Kar-Wai movie, but it kind of did impede on some of my enjoyment of it, and for this reason, I kind of do feel hesitant to even like give it a rating of some sort. I probably would give at least the American cut a strong, highly recommended 7 out of 10. You know, this is a really good movie. It's a beautiful movie. It's some moments really do truly feel like that magic of cinema, and doing that thing that only movies can do, and it does it so well. But other times I do feel like it was impeded, whether it was like the scope of it felt a little overreached and like needed to be pulled backwards some way. But I do really want to see the Chinese cut, but I don't. and I'm not sure when or if and when I'll find that, or at least anytime soon. But yeah, I definitely would recommend you seek out the Grandmaster. There are Blu-rays of it that pretty affordable. You can rent this on Amazon and Apple TV, and currently you can stream it. Well, there are a few days. Well, at the time of recording, there's it's available on the Criterion channel for only a few more days. But you know, keep an eye out for it. That's probably be coming back pretty regularly. And it's also currently on Pluto TV for streaming, but you can watch that with ads. I don't know how this movie would play with ads, or a lot of the ads on like some of these like free to stream places put them very inappropriately. But yeah, I would I guess that's my review for the Grandmaster. Definitely enjoy it. I look forward to seeing what I choose next for the next Letterboxd challenge video. I have another review coming up soon, and yeah, that's the video. Comment, like, subscribe. Do you love Wong Kar-Wai movies as well? And me being me, I do have Wong Kar-Wai movies in my collection. Where is it? I usually have this. Oh no. Wasted time. Gotta find the movie. Where's the movie? Oh, what? Silly me. I would highly recommend, if you don't want to like get the individual titles physically on Criterion, I do recommend you try to find The World of Wong Kar-Wai. This is easily one of my favorite things in my collection. Oh, it's so good. And yeah, definitely, eagerly, I impede you to seek out his movies. They are beautiful. They're some of the best that movies have to offer. They're amazing. And yeah, that's all I have to say about the Grandmaster. And Wong Kar-Wai will forever be one of the gods. He's amazing. And so yeah, that's a video. I'm Zach. I have a lot more movies to watch, and I hope you do too. And I will see you later.